with our community, prepares our students for achievement and lifetime readiness by providing opportunities for all. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And as a reminder, tonight at the annual meeting, everyone who is a member of our community is welcome to participate. They can make motions and they can vote during this particular meeting. And we will start with electing a meeting chairperson.
I will nominate Annette Smith to be the meeting chairperson for tonight's annual meeting.
I'll second.
I have a motion from John and a second from Tracy. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Joe Martin to chair this meeting.
We have a motion from Bob.
I would respectfully decline that.
Joe doesn't have his mic on, so I'm going to repeat that.
I would respectfully decline that.
Thank you, Joe. Any other motions? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I would entertain a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Rick and a second from John. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we will have our district overview with Superintendent Dahman.
Thank you. And Chelsea, can you go to slide number 6? Thank you. This is just a kind of a demographics overview of the school district, and these are approximate population and households. But our area, we encompass about 120 square miles. You can see our population and number of households across our entire district. We're made up of 9 different municipalities, mostly located in Rock County, but also a portion of our school district in Jefferson County. And you can see our 2024 equalized tax base of a little bit over $3 billion. And our enrollment is approximately 3,400 students in 4K through 12. On the next slide, Annette had read earlier our mission and vision statements about opportunity, achievement, and community for all, but we're very proud to be an essential part of our community. We have an outstanding staff and very supportive parents and community. And again, our talented and dedicated educators, our outstanding academic achievement, student-focused learning, and co-curricular opportunities are all important parts of what we do, but also important are building those strong relationships and culture across all of our schools and departments. You can see the data from this past spring survey from both parents and staff about whether they are proud to be a Red Hawk or proud to work for the school district of Milton. Extremely strong positive responses there. And we balance providing those high quality opportunities and achievement for students with being strong fiscal stewards. And our district's mill rate has dropped over 25% over the past 5 years. So we're also, in addition to offering high quality programs for students, we also are strong fiscal stewards. Our strategic plan is an important part of the work that we do. In addition to our vision and mission statement, you can see the 5 pillars or strategic objectives that are listed. And they encompass the most important things that we do as a district: teaching and learning, relationships, climate and culture, high quality staff, community engagement, and operations and facilities. We will be, over the upcoming months, be updating our goals and focus areas in each of those categories. And then we have a couple slides with some pictures denoting some highlights from the past year. We have Rue, one of our new therapy dogs at Milton High School and also here at the district office. Our Milton Achieve and has expanded that therapy dog program. Our Little Hawk Learners, our pre-flight academy group. This past year, we had our largest 4K class since the beginning of the program. And you can see some homecoming activities from different staff. And then on the next slide, we have some graduation walks, scholarship night, Red Hawk reading mentors, our varsity athletes getting out to K-3 schools for reading time. Our new flight simulator at Milton Middle School has offered opportunities to explore career pathways in aviation. And Matilda, the Milton High School musical, was an outstanding program. On the next slide, some student and staff-driven initiatives that give back to the community. We have our East Eats that was launched this year by staff, parent, and Milton FFA to make sure students had access to food over winter break. We have the Macy Day Parade at Milton West, activities night during homecoming week. Our Idea Club hosted a multicultural event featuring dancers from Beloit Memorial Nightingales and the Beloit Even Start Dancers. The Library and Minas Centers have VR headsets that have opened up new opportunities in our classrooms. There's a picture there of our Discovering Democracy students traveling to Washington, D.C. And then on the next slide, the high school launched the Winter Drum Corps and Color Guard, giving more opportunities for our students. Two retired art educators, Mrs. Cudham and Mrs. Beer, collaborated with students at Harmony on a beautiful mosaic. The art club created Rocky cutouts for students. The class of 2025 graduate Emma Steinke advanced to the finals at FBLA Nationals, placed her in the top 15 students in the entire nation. Our robotics team qualified for the state competition, and our elementary artists had their work on display at the youth art exhibit in Madison. And then our last slide of pictures highlights some of our other extracurricular activities. The upper left-hand corner is the completion of the Schlemm Stadium, accessibility improvements and renovations at Milton High School baseball diamond, made possible through community support. It's a standout year for Milton athletics. You can see the girls tennis participants that qualified for state tournament, a cross country runner qualified for state, swimming, track and field, wrestlers who qualified for state, including two state champions and the girls wrestling team, the first ever state girls wrestling champion in the state of Wisconsin. So a lot of things academically and in our extracurriculars that we have to celebrate over the past year. We're really proud of the work that our students and our staff and our community do in partnership with each other. And unless there's any questions on any of that, I'm going to turn things over to Ross for the financial report.
Hi, everyone. Well, we've had a wonderful year, obviously, and Rich has shared some wonderful pictures in the last couple minutes talking through some of our major activities. But I'm here to share tonight some information of where we're finishing up our 24-25 school year and how we're shaping up our budget for discussion and vote later tonight. I want to start by identifying what our fund balances are looking at for year end. The general fund, our fund balance is projected at $12.3 million. This reaches our end goal of 20 to 25%, being at the upper end, 25% of our operating budgets. This continues to allow the school district of Milton to avoid the need to short-term borrow for cash flow, and we're not going to be looking to do that this fall either. So that's good. The special funds, fund balance represents only the accounts for donations and student activity accounts in what's called our Fund 21. It also includes the activity in our special education fund, but that fund cannot maintain a fund balance. The debt service fund balance represents funds committed for fall and future debt payments and planned debt defeasance planning. Our capital projects fund, committed for future capital maintenance, is based on our long-range facility plan in Fund 46. All activity from the 2019 capital referendum has concluded during the 22-23 school year. The food service fund balance represents funds committed to school nutrition activities and programming, and the community service fund represents funds committed for operation and maintenance of our community park spaces. As of June 30th, we only have one debt issue still outstanding for the 2019 capital referendum. After all payments made in the last fiscal year, our outstanding debt as of June 30, 2025 is $42,615,000. We're also required to report out on our Fund 73 or other post-employment benefits for our existing staff and our future retirees. This is held for the future commitment of all of our benefits liability to staff. As required for reporting in Fund 73, we must show our continual contribution to ongoing activities, as well as the interest earned in that fund. During this past year, the Fund 73 earned $228,981.14 in interest earnings during the year. Okay, moving into our budget presentation information for 25-26. I want to briefly discuss the way our budgets are required to be formatted and presented as part of state statutes. Wisconsin uses the Wisconsin Uniform Financial Accounting Requirements, also referred to as WUFR, to code and format all financial data for the school district. These guidelines use a chart of accounts format that our local account structure must adhere to. This is used by all Wisconsin public schools. The long-form version of these accounts use set dimensions, including fund, source, object, and function. The publication data used for the annual meeting presentations summarizes these dimensions by fund. Each fund in the WUFR format has a specific purpose and set regulations that must be followed during implementation. The district budget is a plan of how we propose to use our resources to accomplish our educational and operational goals. Our budget represents a plan at any point in time, and we present this data to the board throughout the year. In June, this board gave preliminary approval of the 25-26 budget. However, we cannot set a final original budget until the end of October, which requires some additional data we don't have yet, including our third Friday count, as well as our state aid distribution and equalized value calculations from the Department of Revenue. To conduct the annual meeting, we must estimate these figures based on available information, and these estimates are reflected in our budget and identifies resources for resources or revenues and purposes and use expenditures. The next several slides are going to outline the proposed budgets by fund. This information is also available in the financial supplement prepared for this meeting. At the end of these fund budgets will be a preview of our proposed tax levy by fund. In Fund 10, most of our revenue sources come from local tax levy and general state aid. The resource split within the revenue limit is approximately 40% local tax levy and 60% general state aid. Inter-district resources represented on this chart are what we expect to receive as part of students open enrolling into Milton. There is a corresponding expenditure on the other side of the equation, just so you know. State sources include our general aid payments from the state of Wisconsin and any state grants. Federal sources include federal grants, and do want to note, as we do every year, federal funding has been shifting in recent years due to some one-time investments in education. The last couple of years, we were using up the last of our ESSER funds, and there was some uncertainty earlier this year over what federal funding would look like going into this school year. However, we do have our current awards for the coming year at this time. Total general fund revenues are set to increase close to 1.4% from last year's final numbers, unaudited, of course. And on this graph, you can briefly see that most of our resources do come from state sources and general state aid and from local tax levy. On the expenditure side, this is summarized by 6-digit function area and rolled up into their highest level categories. The 100,000 series is for all instructional activities, including curricular staff and any co-curricular activities. The 200,000 includes all support services, including student services staff, library functions, transportation, custodial operations, utilities, supervision, business services, and administration. And the 400,000, which encompasses all of our non-program transactions, including sub-placement, interfund transfers, and open enrollment out payments for districts, for students attending elsewhere. Also, private school vouchers. And again, very briefly, most of our expenses are categorized in wages and benefits, as we are a primarily service-oriented industry. Of note is when we look at purchase services, that does include the full cost of our substitutes, as well as our open enrollment payments, transportation, utilities, software, etc. In our Fund 20 series, which includes Funds 21 for donations and student activity and Fund 27 for special education, The Special Projects Fund 21 is used to record one-time sources of revenue and expenditures for specific activities. These funds must be maintained with balances until they are used for each activity and restricted for those purposes. The Special Education Fund, conversely, records how much the annual activity for our student services team, staff, and budgetary needs. This fund cannot maintain a fund balance as it is supplemented by the general fund each year through an interfund transfer. And again, very briefly, our Fund 27 budgetary costs are primarily staff-based, just under 90%. The balance of which in purchase services are specialized transportation, and again, those sub-costs. In our Fund 30 series, the debt service funds is used to record all of our approved debt structure. The only debt we have at this time, again, is our 2019 capital referendum. Activity in this fund in recent years has included payments in our debt schedule, as well as planned prepayment of debt through defeasance activity. In our Fund 40 category, again, this is we are now entering a period where there's no longer any referendum expenditures reflected on these charts. The Capital Projects Fund must record all capital outlays as part of our long-term capital maintenance plan. And again, the Fund 46 that we're talking about was established in 2020 and was first available this year, starting in April of 2025, and we've begun incorporating that into our long-range plan. Our Fund 50 is all of our food service activity. Fund balance in this fund, again, is restricted to food service programming. It will be used in time to invest in new equipment and other needs of the food service program if and when there are any projected revenue shortfalls in the future. And finally, Fund 80, this is our Community Services Fund. This tracks all transaction of all of our community service activities, including maintenance of our parks, including Schilberg and Central Park. The 2025-2026 budget includes planned use of fund balance for field lighting at Schilberg Park, which is why the revenues and expenditures on this chart do not align. That is a specific plan to utilize some of that fund balance at the end of this year through those activities. And finally, for all funds at once, we have planned expenditures that are showing an increase of 14.08% over year-end activity. However, on this page or in this slide, I do want to highlight the detail on this slide as to what that represents. The all funds expenditure increase includes one-time changes in interfund transfers, a reduction of $1.8 million over current year, planned debt defeasance in Fund 39, $4.2 million estimated for this fall, utilization of Fund 46 capital maintenance funding, an additional $200,000, and maintenance work in Fund 80 community services, another increase of $170,000, including the field lighting at Schilberg. Operational budgets as part of this increase will increase only 2.51% over year-end totals for 24-25, about $1.4 million in total. And this is fairly typical of the increases we've been looking at the last several years. Very briefly, I want to highlight the composure of our municipalities. We do have 9 municipalities in the school district of Milton, the largest of which is the city of Janesville at just below 35%, followed by the city of Milton at 18.5%, town of Harmony 14.5%, and town of Milton at 12.5%. This proportional share is based on an estimated increase to our equalized value for this coming year. These numbers are not yet final, and they will be issued to us by the Department of Revenue by October 1st of this year. What you're seeing on this proportional share is a reflected 4.5% estimate of change in equalized value at this time. We're currently starting to receive some estimates of what that final number will be, but I do not want to report out on that until they are final. I also want to briefly touch on what the school district of Milton has experienced in the mill rate itself. In the past 10 years, the school district of Milton has been trending downward in local tax rate, with the exception of the 1920 school year when the capital referendum was put into place. With the current estimates we mentioned on the last slide and DPI estimates for general aid, we anticipate the mill rate to reduce to $6.58 for the coming year. And finally, the tax levy information is listed here by fund. Again, we do expect the total tax levy to reduce under the current revenue limit structure and anticipated aid payments, but these are not final numbers until after the October 15th deadline through DPI. On here, we have a debt service levy that it does include plans for debt defeasance. We are currently targeting to bring that back to the board for discussion and action in January or February of 26. The community service fund levy is updated in here again for planned maintenance per the long-term capital maintenance plan. But we do overall anticipate the total tax levy to remain relatively steady, currently estimated at a reduction of 0.3%. All right, unless there's any questions, we are able to move on to the budget hearing at this time.
Ross, before you move on, I just wanted to thank you for all the information, you and everyone in the business office. And there's a lot of information here, but I think there's two main takeaways that people here and in the community should look at, and that's the decrease in the mill rate again. I think that's the fifth, maybe sixth year. Is that correct? But
Yes.
also the tax levy decrease for a second year in a row, which I think is a big deal, and I think people should be aware of that. And that's a testament to the work of all the admins and all the staff district-wide. And so thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
All right, we're on to the next part of our new business. I would entertain a motion to approve our tax levy for the fall of 2025.
I move that the district levy a tax of $16,111,300 for the current operations, $5,146,100 for referendum approved debt, and $438,381 for community services, for a total all-fund tax levy of $21,695,781.
Second.
I'm sorry, Chris, thank you. So we have a motion from Sarah and a second from Chris. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we'll move on, would entertain a motion to fix salaries of the board members and authorize expenses.
I move to set salaries for board members at $2,000 and the board president at $2,500 per year to authorize the payment of actual and necessary expenses incurred by the Board of Education members while traveling and performance of their duties.
So I have a motion from Jeremy. Can we get Sarah and a second from Sarah? Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are on to our next motion to establish the date and time for the 2026 annual meeting.
I move to allow the Board of Education to establish the date and time for the 2026 annual meeting as provided under Section 12008 Wisconsin Stats.
I'll second that.
So a motion from Tracy, a second from Rick. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the annual meeting.
Second.
I have a motion from Rick, a second from Tracy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Thank you all for coming.
There's some cookies for
Oh.
on the back counter.
Thank you, Sarah, for the cookie.